All the content for your website will exist on the HTML page unless you're building a database-driven website, which is something we're not doing right now. So our content that is being displayed will appear between the body tags. But if we want to change how the heading 1 looks, or how the body looks in general, we need to use something called CSS, a cascading style sheet. There are 3 ways of adding CSS to your website. We're going to do it as a separate sheet for a lot of reasons, mainly that troubleshooting and changing how things look is probably better to do it in a separate sheet. So, File New, and we're going to open up a CSS page right beside our HTML page. The difference in syntax is quite interesting. Instead of using angular brackets, we're going to use curly brackets. So let's start off. Heading 1, we want to change how the heading 1 looks. And we're going to choose, let's try font size first. And we're going to choose 100 pixels, nice and big so we can see it. We'll move on to percentages next week rather than pixels. What about the color? American spellings make life an awful lot easier for this. Gray. I found most of my students prefer to set their CSS like this so we can see where it starts and where it ends. When we save this file, we need to save it right beside where we were working. So right beside the index page, we're going to name this style1.css, all lowercase. Save. So these 2 things don't speak to each other yet. For the HTML file to refer to the style sheet, we have to put a line of code in the HTML file. I'm going to give you a link below this video, but if you do want to learn how to write it, you can, but it's not essential at all for this class. It's something you won't be writing very often. So that tells it it's going to be linking to a style sheet. And this is going to tell it where the style sheet is. Okay. STYLE and the name of the file. So that should be able to find it there. Okay. All right. Now we'll save that. And we hope that when we pick it up by double clicking on the HTML page, it'll all speak to each other. So my style sheet is right beside the HTML page. It's not in another folder. We double click on it and the text is now grey.